Yeah. Welcome to Unified Media Dropping Gems podcast. Let's get it.
Unified Media Dropping Gems Podcast, Season 2, Episode 6. Topic of conversation revolves around dreams is another dimension, spiritual alignment, and so much more. Tune into the show once a week, every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, where we have raw, uncut, open discussions that can range with insightful and educational information across the board. Other episodes would include past and current events, trending topics, conspiracies, personal journey, and more. We also invite special guests to shed light on who they are, what professional industry they're in. So if you'd like to be on a guest, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, email droppinggemspodcasting@gmail.com with your name, business, industry, IG at, and brief bio. Hosted by yours truly, JL the Truth and ONTL the One. Support the show by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. We're here, Aki.
Yes, sir.
Episode 6. And we have a special guest today. This is going to be the first time you meeting this brother who has decided 4 years ago to transition into a deeper meaning of life. Based on the conversation I had with him on a previous live on his Instagram, I just felt like he was so in tune with himself and discovering, thyself, through a series of meditation, research, and just educating himself on what it means to, connect with your 7 chakras.
That's
Connect.
That's key.
Yeah, connect with your 7 chakras. Indulge in things that are going to bless your mind, elevate your mind, keeping yourself on a higher frequency, so those vibrations don't affect your physical performance or your physical life around you. And we're going to get deep into it when I introduce you to him. In the meantime, I'm going to play this quick music video for Don Prince.
Let's go.
This is his latest joint. This is Don Prince After Dinner official music video.
Baby, come take a flight with me. Baby, come take this flight with me. Baby, come take a flight. Woo! See, after dinner, baby, take this flight with me. I know I need your love, it's my therapy. Watching the sunset from a canopy. And when we come together, it's like ecstasy, baby. I'm willing to go deep, baby. Woo! We come alive in the daytime. Body on body, girl, that's a 69. I'm not having no regrets when I say you're mine. I only wanna love you, that's my state of mind. You want it, baby, let me take you there. I can show you many reasons why I truly care. And the other dudes that hurt you wasn't playing fair. The only game that I play with you is double dare. Over and over again. We do this over and over again. Over and over again. We do this over and over again. See, after dinner, baby, take this flight with me. I know I need your love, it's my therapy. Watching the sunset from a canopy. And when we come together, it's like ecstasy, baby. I'm willing to go deep, baby. Woo! I had to detox from a toxic feeling. And when I found you, a new source was giving me another chance with romance. I took a stance and sun danced away. You know you so special to me, willing to give it my all and what's left for me carefully. Go deep, have you breathing so heavenly? My body and soul, yeah, that's my remedy. Have you ever seen Rainbow Mountains? We can go to Peru, baby, and stay grounded. I never felt true love, but I'm glad I found it. I will never let it go, I'd rather mountains. Yeah, I love you. See you after dinner, baby, take this flight with me. I know I need your love, it's my therapy. Watching the sunset from a canopy. And when we come together, it's like ecstasy. Baby, I'm willing to go deep, baby. Come on, over and over again. We do this over and over again. Over and over again. We do this over and over again.
And you could kind of get a feel for his essence, and even in the video, and how he delivers it as an artist and a human being.
Yeah, it's very opening, spiritually, it's designed correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like in his manner, you can tell it's his awakening, his on his guidance and things like that. No, that was a really great vibe, especially for the summer, man. That was a good vibe. I was rocking with that. Yeah. And right now I'm live on Instagram right now, so y'all make sure y'all share that live. Y'all share this live on YouTube. We about to get it started, man. Y'all don't want to miss this season 2, episode 6, excuse me.
So yeah, that was Don Prince, Tea and Wisdom on his YouTube channel. Go check out Don. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. You know, his essence is felt in that particular record. I enjoyed the whole vibe of it.
Me too.
I was even surprised because I'm a fan of his music. I know what he's done, you know, and in prior years, the kind of songs he's made sonically and everything like that. So to him in this kind of pocket surprised me, but he did it really well.
Man, it sounded comfortable for him.
Yeah. It was over and over again.
Hey, man, I was rocking.
Hey, even when he hit those notes, hey, baby. That boy about to have me on my
man, I gotta go. Let me go get some vocal tea real quick. Man. Vocal tea.
I need that vocal tea. Need that vocal tea. Need that wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Over again. Man, listen. Man.
They do have vocal tea, just so y'all know, though.
Really?
Oh, hold on.
Oh shit! You boys about to you learn something new every single day here on Dropping Gems.
Oh, I don't have no more.
No more.
Yeah, they do have it. Let me see.
He finished it on effort. That's what it was.
I sure did. Yeah, it's out. It's a tea though. It's out there. It's vocal tea. It's by this specific tea leaf brand. Okay. And yeah, and it what it does is it helps you drink this tea. It tastes like a vanilla orange extract tea, and it coats, soothes your vocals and relaxes your vocal tones and allows you to be able to warm them up so you can hit those notes, and you know it don't even be crazy. You won't even be out of pocket. So you know there is vocal tea out there, just so y'all know. And I was put on by that from a singer, someone who sings just like Mr. Don Prince right here and really hitting them notes. So that's some gems. That's some gems for all of my singers out there who don't know. I can't remember the brand right now, and kind of, you know, I don't want to give too much, but y'all can go Google that. Y'all can go Google that.
Hold on, I'm just trying to set this light here. I broke my back. Okay.
All right.
All righty. All right.
Yes, sir.
So we're here. That was Don Prince with After Dinner, the official music video. I'm gonna play that again at the end of the episode. So today we're going to get into a conversation with Don here shortly in a few minutes when he taps in and sets his live up backstage. Dreams is another dimension. Now, he is he's the one that's very educated in this space when it comes to, you know, how it breaks down in terms of like how a dream can actually be an out of body experience and like your
Astral
soul
projecting and all of those things like that.
you know what I mean. So I'll wait till he gets in here to break that down. But in terms of like spiritual alignment, just to set off the conversation, what are some of the things that you want to touch on, Ak, when it comes to like spiritual alignment in both physical and just, you know, the unnatural?
Right. Well, you got to look at the simple fact of the spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Some people may or may not know, but everything is spirit before physical. You have to have a thought or energy before you can manifest the reality. If you can't see it here, you can't see it here. That makes sense. And, you know, so you got to go to there. And when it comes down to, you know, getting in tune with your spirituality or becoming in tune with yourself, you have to go within yourself. You have to ask yourself questions. You have to figure out why, what, who, what, when, where, how, and why. You're the who already. You know what I'm saying? Now you're figuring out the what, when, where,
and
how, and
why. Right.
You know what I mean? So that gives you your guidance to figuring out, you know, let me figure out what is it about us that makes us the same. You know, when you said when it comes down to the chakras and stuff, I have a little education on the chakras. There are 7 chakras. They are of the colors that they say of the rainbow, which it starts from red all the way up to the purple, but it starts at the bottom, not red being at the top, but more being at the bottom, and then the purple being at the top. Purple being the more enlightening into intuition, and then the root chakra being the red chakra, which is where your base at, your foundation at. That's where you get all of your energy.
You want to flip? You want to flip some real quick? You know that I believe it's the LGBT flag.
Yes.
That it's
reversed. Yes.
Hockey, talk to me about that. What? It was designed.
Yes, it was designed like that. So you have to think about it like this. You know, a lot of people do things and they can twist, revert, pervert, convert, and make it something it's totally not. And that's like that. You know, you're gonna have things. There were things that were taught to us as children that we were taught wrong, and we have to reverse that teaching and come back and get taught right. And that was one of the things when I started looking into the chakras, I seen how the original way the colors work. Purple being the most powerful one. Purple is royalty. Purple means royalty. So why would royalty be at the bottom, and then with
fear's at the top?
Yeah, you see what I mean? Why would they put fear at the top?
They want it designed that way.
Exactly. And not nothing against the people, but if you look at the function of the community, what they're functioning like shows their initiation or their willingness to try to initiate and bring any and all, and it's in a form of confusion. They're confusing you, telling you if this is what it means to be free. Everybody has independence, but nobody is actually free. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has independence, but you have to be governed, or something has to govern you. So are you truly free from anything? You get what I mean? So if that's the way they wanted to present themselves, and that's what's governing them, that's what makes it easier for them, then, you know, that's their way of doing it. However, I disagree with when it comes down to this truth here, and it being the reversal. You know what I'm saying? You have to build up to that intellectual intuition type of mindset, and it has to start from your roots. You have to go to your roots.
I was also kind of looking at it less of like of what it represented for the LGBTQ and more of just like how they have those layers and how and how they deliver it to us. You know, they want us in fear, and they don't want us. You know, they don't want us in royalty.
No, and why not? I'll put it to you like this, and it's not just for them. This is the character and nature of that. Right. Opposition's character and nature cannot change. Okay, so if your goal and objective is to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, then that's what you're doing. And so that's what that technically was. Oh, we're going to do the opposite, and then we're going to make sure that everybody understands that. Well, in that manner, the opposites are always going to have pushback. Adversity is always going to be there. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be this side, that side. It's all about who's swinging to which side and which where. And unfortunately, some people, and I use Satan because he's opposition of what good is, because good is opposition of what Satan is. So I use him, and the negative nature in his belief is cutting out something or being in a form of confusion. That type of mindset is a form of confusion. It confuses you. Rather than going to go seek out, search, and find the truth and sit well and be free in the truth, because you're free from confusion. You have a ability to understand, right? So, and that's what that was, is taking something that was given to us as a form of a covenant, and to say, hey, you know, after all of the storm, here comes the rainbow. The sun is going to shine again. You take that aspect and you switch in confusion and say, hey, over here, we get to blossom and do all of these things, and we get to run around. And because everybody, we're free. We're not bound by anything. We want everybody to live like us and be like us and go against what nature intended for us. Nature. And again, I'm using these key words when I say nature, because it's natural. When I say function, I'm not speaking to a specific person, place, or thing. I'm speaking to the function of that and why it operates in that manner, because it's all about principles and ethics, morals and principles. You get what I mean? And so that's my take on that. And the reason, you know, that's my outlook on how things can be confusing and what that represents, because it doesn't represent anything bad. It represents something always good. They took it and tried to make it seem a different form, and now it's looking really bad, because now it looks like they're, in a sense, a cult trying to, you know what I'm saying, convert as many people as possible to that light and understanding, and then doing it in using the root chakras, the sexual plexus chakra, and the, you know what I'm saying, that chakra right there, that which guides and gives people the will to do something. So if you attack that, or if that gets weakened, and being in that vibration, you gets weakened, you become easily feared, and you want to do whatever it is you are scared of, or you trying to go to do something because you're scared of the outcome and consequences if you combat it or go against it.
Deep.
You know what I mean? That's just how it is. But the chakras thing was definitely eye-opening when I seen the opposite reverse, or not, you know what I'm saying, like the confusion part of it.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. What is, you being an individual that is you know, has some experience or education around, knowledge around the 7 chakras, what do you think it takes to tap into that higher self? Like to have that awareness, to be like, yo, the momentum is crazy. I'm on fire. Like, I'm, you know what I mean? Like, things are happening, blessings are coming, money, abundance, all of this stuff. Like, what do you feel it takes to really tap into those things, the nature of those things? Does it have to be a certain level of belief? Is it energy?
You have to within yourself, you have to find out, you have to question. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say don't question God. No, question yourself. Question why. Question, ask a question. Why is this like this? You don't have to ask anybody directly. You can just ask yourself, and then within yourself, you will feel inclined to get the answer. And so you have to go within yourself in order to find your reason as to why, or what connects you, how to stay on that source. Like there's building steps, there's building blocks, there's things you have, you have to take baby steps in order to get to the, you know what I'm saying, to the top.
Right.
And so when you start questioning, okay, 7 chakras, what do they do? What does that mean? You know, why is it in the number 7? Why is it have 7? You know what I'm saying? 7 being in numerology, meaning perfect. 7 means to be perfect. So then that begs the question, okay, so why is it just 7? And if these are the 7 perfect things, then how come, you know, saying, how do I unlock it? How do I get to this level? Some cultures, they meditate and they have these vibrations that they do. I believe they I don't know exactly what they're called, but like they have yum and those different things that vibrate in those different chakra areas to help unlock it. As that was a practice that they had as a form of meditation. You're meditating to unlock and bring energy to that chakra, to make it open, to utilize it, to be able to get to that frequency, and then you continue to level up until you get to the highest frequency, which is the ability to have your intellect, being able to recognize, respond, and appeal to things, attract things to that level. You're at your highest elevation because you're at the top. You're not at the bottom, you're at the top. And what we call that is heaven, or bliss, being in a heaven state of mind, a higher state of mind.
Yeah.
It takes for you to go within.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
No
right
problem.
now, I would like to introduce our special guest on today's episode 6 of Dropping Gems. Don Prince. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Don?
Oh, wait. Hold on. His mic was muted.
There you go.
There it is.
Y'all can hear me?
A little bit.
It's a little cracky.
It's a little cracky.
Yeah, it's a little staticky on my side too. How about
Is
that?
Is it the phone? Do you need headphones? Do you have a pair of headphones possibly? You might need to hop in on the computer. Let me ask him if
Hold on 1 second. Let me mute myself.
yeah, see if you have headphones, maybe a laptop or something. I know if he had a laptop,
hold on 1 second.
It's a very great, interesting topic too.
Oh no, he's gonna hit home once we get him in.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm on IG live right now on TL Dewan, on TL_Dewan on IG. It's on live. We live right now. Shout out to my live. Y'all tap in with us on YouTube. We live on YouTube right now. Dropping Gems season 2, episode 6.
Well, I know also while Don works his way to get in here, I know it's important that the right foods trigger, tapping into those things.
And now think about this. I'm glad you brought that up. The food part. Look at the fruits. Aren't the fruits mimicking the rainbow? Aren't the fruits mimicking the chakras?
Interesting.
You have oranges that mimics the orange chakra. Right. You have the strawberries that's in the red.
Right.
Blueberries, the purple. Blueberries are the antioxidants and things of that nature. So look at that. The spiritual connection between that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have all of these, the greens, your green vegetables, your chlorophyll, which is the life, the bloodline of a plant. You know what I mean? There's a reason why we're supposed to eat those things and eat those fruits and become of those fruits. Is because those help unlock the physical part of your chakra. So you unlock the spiritual side when you meditate and do the vibrational hummings and hymns and things like that. But then if you're eating the rainbow, even more, that gives you not only you get the hydration from the fruit, the nutrients and vitamins and minerals from the fruit, but also too, it's helping you unlock the secret codes and DNA inside of your cells and in your chakra to be opened up, to be used, to be life, because in the fruit there's life. It's life, bro. Like that was a very interesting. I don't have too much education on that, but like I seen the correlation between that, where you had the certain fruits at a certain color, and then the chakras at that same color. And when you look and match them up, they match up to unlock those secret codes in that DNA of that of the chakra, bro. And you know that's gives you even more of a way to vibrate, be at a higher state of mind. And I'm gonna give you an example. Lately, I've been on a probably I want to say like I've been doing my intermediate fasting, right? Intermediate fasting for about like 2 weeks now.
Explain to those who don't understand intermediate fasting. What does that consist of?
I eat with the sun, basically. So in the morning time when I arise, I don't necessarily consume any type of heavy meals or heavy foods in me. What I do is I hydrate myself to be able to flush my system out from what was already in it from last night. So roughly between the hours of 9 and 12, I'm going through a detoxing cycle where I'm just only, either drinking water, teas, and fruit. And then after 12, between 12 and 4, I'll find myself either snacking on some walnuts, peanuts, or snacking on something that is healthy and building and giving me some energy, some vital energy. And then I'll have some food around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll eat a meal that's, I'll say, like a salad or something that is going to have me properly satisfied to fuel and get me through the rest of the day. And then after 8 o'clock, I don't eat any food. I just drink water, and relax. So I break my fast with hydration in the morning. You know, I don't eat anything pretty much after 7, 8 o'clock at night. So therefore, my body, by the time 9, 10 o'clock at night comes, my body is already digested with the food that I've had in me, and I'm ready. My body can now rest and relax and get its proper sleep or rest when I close my eyes to get into that dream state.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And since I've been doing that, I've noticed the difference. I can walk into a room, bro, and I can kind of feel the energy in there. I can kind of know what was in there, what was happening. I can look at somebody and get a DNA reading, or not DNA, a code reading from there to kind of get an insight on their life, or get an insight on what is going on, something that they've been through. Is because I'm connecting with my food. I'm allowing my body to properly do its thing, and I'm not consuming things that are not going to be able to give me life. I'm eating things of life. And as I'm doing that, as I'm fasting, I'm allowing my body to digest those things and not take on as many toxins or chemicals or heavy metals into my body, which allows my body to continue to function in the proper manner it needs in order to be, you know, well equipped in wherever I'm at or whatever I'm doing. And so far, that's what my last 2 weeks have been like since I've done that. Been just drinking straight water, eating more fruits, utilizing vegetables for fiber and more so rebuilding my organs, and, you know, spiritually reading, not being consumed by a lot of other things that has no importance. And it has helped unlock a lot of my chakras that I've had, you know what I'm saying, that have been locked. My ability to speak, the throat chakra, you know, you're not afraid to speak how you feel, what you feel like. Your heart chakra, you're able to feel from your heart, not just from your eyes or your mind. You know what I mean? My intellectual thing, being able to connect spiritually and have a connection. Like I can shake your hand or whatever, and I can feel your energy, and also I can feel your spirit just in that handshake, of physical touch, but also without physically touching you, I can physically see, and then still get a good reading off of that because we're connected through that energy. I'm allowing the sun, the energy of the sun, you know what I'm saying, to give me that proper vitamin and nutrients, so therefore I can take on whatever it is I need to take on during the day. So that's been my routine for the last 2 weeks.
Amazing. I'm gonna have to try that. We got Don Prince, our special guest here today. Don, how you doing?
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, this is much better than before. A little bit.
I still hear static on my end. I'm just waiting for my headphones to charge. But I'm listening right now. Y'all keep rocking out. I'm I'm just waiting for my iPad to turn on. I'm gonna try it from there.
Okay.
iPad probably will work better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'll work.
We just want to get the audio clear, so when you're talking, brother, we don't miss nothing.
I'm not trying to miss nothing.
I ain't trying to miss nothing.
He about to drop some gems.
This time.
I know he about to drop some gems.
All right, I got y'all, man. I'm
Appreciate
still listening, but as soon as the iPad come on, I'll jump in.
That's a bet, brother.
For sure, man. So until
So yeah, while we get Dawn in here, we'll continue this class of education. I know for me, you know, I'm looking to try to accomplish something in the physical, but in order to accomplish this particular thing in the physical, it has to come from the other side.
Oh yeah,
it has to. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing that exists now that wasn't to some degree a thought process.
There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun, bro. Somebody has thought of it already and has manifested it already in their manner and their time and in that era, in that moment of time. There's nothing new underneath the sun. But the beautiful part about it is the reincarnation of that thought process and reformatting or reforming of it to give a different perspective.
So how does somebody come into a structure that has been developed for the last 200 years and try to
reinvent the wheel,
shake it up, so to speak, and you know what I mean?
I'll put it to you like this:
have some kind of positive influence without dealing with the powers that be.
You have to recognize what your true talent is,
right?
And when you recognize what your true talent is, then you can take that talent and then use it in conjunction with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, for me, I'm good at educating, right? Providing knowledge. So how do I take that skill and utilize it in doing a podcast, being a leader for a team? How do I take on this role of a supervisor? Or how do I, get the crowd moving through music? How do I do that? By being a form of an educator. I have to uniquely arrange my body of words in order for people to receive it well, just like I did now, you know what I mean, with the way that I speak. So that is my talent, and that's how I can reinvent the wheel. Everybody's an educational speaker, motivational speaker, can give information, drop gems, and do all of these things. But what makes it how do I do it different? Who I am, I'm a builder, a creator, a formatter. I fabricate things. I bring things together. I compound and conjunct things together. So how I can educate is I can take different forms of perspectives and give you and paint this bigger picture, so you can see this is not what you thought it was, but it's not just this little small thing. It's this whole big old thing that the reason this works like this. So, for example, life was we have this ability to live and experience this thing we call life here on the physical manifestation of Earth, right? Well, how it was created was everything that we needed to survive as a human being on this planet was created first before the human being was created, and that's it. That goes back in Genesis 1:1-5 in the Bible.
So when you say it like that, it almost sounds like something of another intelligence went like this. Planted seeds, obviously, whatever intelligence it is, extraterrestrial, supernatural, super intelligence, planting seeds,
the creator,
the creator, right? And then all of this has grown. Now, what is this thing that I'm seeing on TikTok? I'm going to redirect it a bit. What is this thing on TikTok that people feel that we live in some kind of dome and that we're an experiment
the firmament?
Yeah, the firmament, and that we're like an experiment to extraterrestrials that, you know, want to, you know, hybrid our DNA so they can live longer.
I was hearing about that. I can't really, I don't want to say too much in regards because I don't actually know that perspective, but I've heard it and seen it, and it just, the firmament in the spiritual aspect is there's your cap or your height. There's a certain height you can go. Right. And that's what they're saying, that we're capped in our ability to elevate higher than the firmament, than the dome, or they claim, right, the dome. Right. For me, and what I feel and believe in, that is the firmament, the thing that you have covering you, you know what I'm saying, that's on the top, that's your ability to be at the top, right? There's a higher source than you. Like, I can elevate my intellectual thoughts, but I can't be higher than Yahweh, because he created everything. You get what I mean? I can't be higher than him, so he's the firmament. I can't go beyond that, but I can look up to that. I can see beyond that. I can see where I can see that is something more far beyond my power, but then I can also tap into that, you know what I'm saying, in a spiritual aspect, or going into the dream state world where I'm not capped at anything, because now my energy just gets to flow. But on the physical standpoint, yes, there's a cap that you have that you can't go past physically, but spiritually you can go far beyond that. So that's my perspective and intake on that firmament thing. I didn't really see too much about that on TikTok, but yeah, I've been hearing about that, and it is in the Bible too. But in the spiritual aspect, again, it's broken down a little differently, and you know what I'm saying. So that's a subject of study that I'm still in the process of studying.
So I'm gonna introduce Don Prince. I'm gonna get into the specific topic. I'm gonna get into this specific topic that's gonna lead into the dreams being another dimension. The way I'm kind of just gonna tie it in all together. So a man dies, has a near-death experience, and says that we have it completely backwards in regards to what ascending is. I don't like using the word DEATHF. I like using the word ascending now.
That's perfect. So that's what it is.
Because that's what it is. So when he was in his bed, lifeless, he ascended, and he said what he saw was that he passed darkness. He went past darkness and was like shooting towards this beaming light, going through like these universal portals at the speed of freaking sound, probably, or light, whatever you want to call it. Same difference. It's just super quick, right? And on the other side of that light, it ends up this all white facility, and he ends up having a conversation with these three minions that are like 3 feet tall. And then after he conversates with them, like through mental telepathy, you know, welcome home. How was your journey? What did you learn? Blah, 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 blah. He ends up seeing behind them the creator of the creator, the source. Filled. He said that he saw this beam of light coming from the creator, this happiness, this pureness, this love, this elegance, and that the creator and him was in a conversation of like, he wanted to ask the creator, like, what was his mistakes? What did he, you know what I mean? What did he do wrong? Could I've done something different? All of this stuff. He doesn't get into too deep into what the conversation or the context of that conversation. But to know that the creator ended up telling him at the end, like, okay, now that we've had this conversation and you know what home will be, I got to tell you that your journey isn't over. You need to go back. And like right after that, he like pushed them back into his body and, you know, reversed that whole trip.
Yeah.
Now, I also heard that, remember that passing that he said that he passed darkness? That from a spiritual standpoint, what that means is like the spirits that end up ascending and like they haven't seen the light yet. They haven't seen the light yet because they have to make amends and repent for all the negative stuff that they did in their lives. And once they've forgiven themselves, then they can ascend home. So with grabbing that near-death experience, with grabbing that spirituality, and now I have Don Prince here to speak about dreams being another dimension. Has there ever been a case, Don, where in the last 4 years of your transformation, where you had a dream that felt so real, and you can literally remember, you know, whether it was bits and pieces or complete images that you were able to take as a sign and utilize it in your physical for your
That's
physical
a
guide?
great question. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can hear me. All right, cool. So, like I said, that was a great question. But I also, I'm gonna touch back on what the brother said too. I think we should highlight that.
For sure.
About what he said about the firmament. But when it comes to dreams, aka just another dimension, another realm, the density, I feel as though me, and this is just my perspective, we're living that out each and every single day. You know, this is an illusion realm, a reminding realm. It's made for you to remember who you are, what you're capable of, how to love yourself unconditionally, and how to love your surroundings. So knowing that, you know what I mean? So when we do go to sleep, aka because of death is nothing but you ascending. Once again, we ascend every day, every night, you know.
Every night.
And this is why it's funny, because within my family, that what I know, my tribe, I don't like to say family, my tribe, I know when we fall asleep, we like to go to sleep. And I always used to ask myself, why does everybody like to go to sleep all the time? Like, they don't want to be in this realm. They're basically saying, yo, we can venture off elsewhere. You know, your higher self is always calling out to you in many ways. This is why you get the angel numbers, etc. It's also, you gotta understand, and I know I'm jumping around, but all this is gonna come together, that you are the divine. You are the I am. You get what I'm saying? You're everything. Any bit of energy outside of you is you. This is why we gotta understand, like, you two right now are my reflection. You get what I'm saying? This is something this is probably what we all agree to in the higher realms. Us coming together, coming to this low density, having this type of health conversation. There's a reason why. There's a reason why it's called a planet. You get what I'm saying? Because we always plan it. Okay? We always plan it. Each and every single day when we ascend. You know what I mean? We just come back here. It's like playing a live GTA. You know what I mean? Your higher self, you're somewhere right now. I'm not going to say you're in like a bubble or anything, or you're hooked up like on the Matrix Neo stuff, but you're somewhere in another realm operating this vessel right here, right now, far into the technology and spirit you are, you know, when it comes to your connection to the divine.
That's deep.
And I was having a conversation before, you know, I guess it was like a week and a half ago, and we got to start understanding also, you know, how our higher self and source, you know, is always sending tests to wake our asses up. You get what I'm saying? To actually understand our gifts and our talent and who we are. And even if you get questioned upon what you're knowing, And remember, nothing is ever here to hinder you, to stop you, to hurt you. You're on a path of consistently growing each and every single day. See how when we say good and bad, that's polarity. There's no such thing. Everything is everything. You get what I'm saying? This is why I don't know if y'all watched that show, that TV show called From.
Yeah.
If y'all don't, go check that out. It's a deep ass show.
Called?
You know what I mean?
From.
But it was talking about the pineal gland. The second season was talking about the pineal gland opening. But you got to see it from a higher perspective.
Right. You can't just watch it for entertainment.
They're talking about you're ascending to your highest chakra, and you're operating. I guess I don't know if y'all watched it, but in the last episode of From, the lady reached this lighthouse, and that lighthouse, and they're trapped in another realm, basically another dimension. Mind you, that's the whole thing about this show. You know what I mean? And they're trying to get out, but you only get out with enlightenment, with an understanding, which was so freaking deep. Because, like I said, at that lighthouse, you know what I mean? That's when one of the ladies, it's like her pineal gland opened up, and now she's back into the real world. You know what I mean? So when we talk about dreams, I consider our dreams just another realm and just another place for you to gather and gain so much experience. You got to take that back and go to your higher self.
So are you saying that ultimately the experiences we have within our dreams is ultimately where we end up going back to?
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is, like, this right now, you're in an illusion realm. You're in a dream realm. You're like in I don't even want to say like the lowest of lowest. This is just a practice, because I heard a lot of people call this like Earth or Mother Gaia, whatever you want to call her. You know what I mean? A prison planet. It's not a prison planet. It's a teaching planet. It's a school. I don't know if y'all will ever watch the movie Soul, but in that movie Soul is literally telling you that. You know what I mean? You're going to learn as a spirit, you know, who you are, what you're capable of doing, how to do it, how to move, how to operate, how to truly love yourself again. You know what I mean? So when we're talking about this realm right here, this is just a reminding realm.
A remembrance, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and that's facts, bro. That's facts.
Like I said, I can never see something like this. And I know a lot of stuff goes on in this realm. You know, a lot of stuff goes on into this realm right now, you know, as far as the children, which the children is our number one priority. You know what I mean? Because these are the ancient souls. These are the young souls coming in right here, right now. You know what I mean? This is nothing. And like the brother said, you know, there's nothing new underneath the sun. This is just going in of learning. Because like I said, you're here. It's multiverse. It's mad JRs right now. This is one JR. Just gathering up experience in this realm. A ship is going to come at night, right? Just think of it like this. A ship is going to come at night, pick you up, pick this version of you up, grab the data app out of you, give it to its higher self, then you go right back down the next day and do it again. You know what I mean? This is you just reminding how to use your gifts. Because at some point when these solar flares hits off, some of us, we're going to have like X-Men powers. Like dead ass. We're going to be able to use telekinesis, use our telepathic ability, pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis. Like these are the stuff, that's that work we should be teaching right here, right now. I don't know if y'all ever seen Black Clover, the anime, or what's another, I forgot another movie where they're just teaching you about magic. I think Doctor Strange, they had their own camp where they was teaching you how.
Remember the X-Men? The X-Men is a great example.
That's what we should be operating on right here, right now. You know what I mean?
X-Men being the great example.
So it's like, because what they call is junk DNA, but nothing is ever junk DNA. You know what I mean? It's your DNA crystallizing. It's your body crystallizing right here, right now. You know what I mean? This is why if you're doing the fasting, is very important. If you don't even got to fast all the way, you can do intermediate fasting. That's what I do. I don't eat.
I do it too. I
once
do
or
it
twice
too.
a day. But that just so spaced out. It's not even funny. Yeah, I don't eat till after 2. So it's like I know my body got to break down all this food, because remember, anything you putting inside your body, you know, it's on that label. And that label is on your food products of all this other stuff that they're trying to use to limit your ability, your DNA to enhance. But your body is so freaking divine. You know, your body is so far advanced, it could break down any and everything. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about crystals and all this other stuff. Because I've been in a lot of videos and interviews too, where people have said, "Yo, crystals are bad," and none of that stuff. Crystals were here at the very, very beginning. There's crystals on pyramids, and there's no telling how long. We still trying to figure out how long ago was the pyramids even created, how they was even created. It's not just 100 of them. It's not just 500 of them. It's thousands and thousands of pyramids right here on this planet, right here, right now. You know what I mean? Some are hiding. Some are underground right now.
The volcanoes, those are pyramids.
They say that there's a whole they're saying that there's a whole another civilization in Antarctica.
Yep. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's many civilizations everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said, you only gonna get access to some stuff like that when you're operating from a higher consciousness. You know what I mean? You got 2 eyes. These 2 eyes right now can even see everything that's really in your face.
Right.
You're only seeing like probably 1%, 2% of anything right here, right now.
Right.
So just imagine when solar flares go off and stuff like that, what you're gonna be able to see, what you're gonna be able to do, what you're gonna be able to hear. It's gonna be amazing. This is why your soul and your spirit came here for this damn reason right here, right now. You timed this out. And this is why it's funny, because it's a you thing. This is everything right here, right now. And shout out to Brother Panic too. I don't know if y'all ever watch his video on YouTube, but he also talked about this too, about what I'm about to say. Because when I first started my spiritual journey, I got a clear, coded message to me. You know, it's like, talk about you. Talk about you, talk about you, talk about you. At first, I was like, you mean talk about myself? That's what I was asking myself. I kept asking myself that, yo, why would I keep getting this thought of just talking about me? You know, but later down in my spiritual journey, as more I meditated, the more I grounded, the more I got my ass out in nature, you know, it was saying, yo, come to you, like, talk about you, the universe, everything. Talk about you, bring people back to themselves, so they can realize who they are. You are everything. You are I am who I am. So this is why when see people say, oh, are you religious? Are you spiritual? No, I am who I am.
You are who you are.
I am energy, and energy is everything. These chairs, these computers, y'all headphones, I'm all of that. You know what I mean? I'm every freaking where. And you got to start seeing it from that perspective. That's how you get on this collective consciousness wave right now. You know what I mean? When you no longer coming from a solo mindset of me, but you're more talking about how connected you are to everything. I don't care about what your color, what race you in, whatever it is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're just wearing a suit, but underneath that, you're light.
You're
your
part
spirit,
of the one source.
You feel me? You may not have a soul, you know what I mean? And we are dealing with NPCs on this round, because they're here to encourage you to get back to you. This is why if you ever asked for patience, you ever say, yo, all right, man, I need some patience in my life. As soon as you said that, you just made a whole contract for yourself. The universe is listening to you. So you can get out your house right now get in the car, drive, get your ass stuck in traffic, and think like, and then that's gonna be your first test of patience. How long can you sit there in traffic? You ever got stuck in traffic? You're like, yo, what the? You want to honk, want to go crazy and stuff. It's actually giving you a test, and you got to also see it from a different mindset. Traffic only builds up because remember, if we're in the matrix, there is design. You can design everything mentally to protect yourself. You can ask for protection every day, and there's traffic. There's could be traffic building up just so you will be protected, so you can't go, so you be in a certain spot and get hurt. It's like that. This is how you're always doing. This is why words are very, very, very freaking powerful. People don't understand. Everybody just, I need action. I need action. Well, before action, what do you need? You need to have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Trust yourself. Then you could put the action in. The action is just like the icing on the cake, but what it really starts with is you self-motivating yourself. This is why we got to learn how to remove ourselves. And I just made a video about today about removing ourselves from anything that's low, that's carrying us low. And it could be your friends, it could be a relationship you in, a friendship, your lover, family. It could be whatever. It could be something material that's keeping you down. You know what I mean? This is how deep this goes. So when we're talking about the spiritual realm, you are in the spiritual realm right now. Do you know that?
Yep.
Is the question.
Yep.
I wanna do a quick I want to do a quick intermission so that way we can get Don Prince in here. Because I know that whole segment it was kind of, it's kind of choppy and in and out, and I don't want to. I know people are going to play this back and they're going to want to really listen to this. I'm going to play a quick 5 to 10 minute intermission of this man and his near-death experience, so we can break down what he says in this video. So when we come back from this halftime, hopefully Don will either have his iPad on or his headphones on, so that way we could get some clear audio
I have my
and really
headphones
accept
ready.
this gem and really get these gems. All right. So I'm gonna play this quick intermission, and then we'll see if we could get Don back in here.
Every time I tell this story, I just start smiling because it all comes back.
So I heard you had a near-death experience. Let's hear about it.
Okay, it was 1994. I was working as a firefighter in Santa Barbara. I was at Station 11 on a paramedic engine. I was an engineer. I drove, and there was a powerful flu epidemic going on in the area. And lots of people were sick. Emergency rooms were full of people. And we went to a patient. She'd been cooped up in her room, and she was really ill. And it was obvious we had to move fast because everything about her was wrong. And I grabbed the O2 and scooted across the bed and got above her and got a mask on her. And as I was fixing it, tightening it up, she let out this big exhale because she was so happy that we had arrived. And I was taking a breath in, and I felt my lungs fill with her breath. And I said, well, if that's not an inoculation, I don't know what is. And a couple of days later, I was really sick. At this point, I was really ill, and I was at home. I was circling the drain. It's hard to get out of bed. I was throwing up, and it going the other way. It was an afternoon of the third day. I think I was looking in the mirror, and I said, man, I don't even look like myself. Everything was dark. My heart was racing. It was like 150. And I tried to take my pulse at my wrist because that's a good indicator of what your blood pressure is. And I couldn't get a pulse at my wrist. So I knew it was below 80. So I called my niece, I called my sister, and my niece picked up, and I tried to talk to her, and it was just a whisper. And she knew there was trouble. She hung up, dialed 911, and Santa Barbara County Fire came and picked me up. Guys did a wonderful job. They started high flow IVs. It was obvious that I was severely dehydrated, and got me in an ambulance and got me to the hospital. And when we went in, the place was full. It was full of people, full of kids and adults, and everybody had this same really powerful flu. And I got put in a room, and they kept changing out the IVs. I had a couple of bags by then. I think another one was hung. By the next day, when I left, they said they'd given me 11 liters of fluids. They're trying to float the system because something happened, and I don't blame anybody, or I don't have any ill feelings towards anybody about it, because it led to this event, which was something that was meant to be. And anyway, the nurse came in and she said, everyone's getting these two drugs, something for pain, which was a morphine type thing, and something for nausea. She pushed him into the IV port, and I kind of was sitting up. I was getting dressed. My wife was there, and I was like, I think I can go home. And she goes, nope, the doctor hasn't even seen you yet, and these are orders for everybody. Anyway, she pushed it, and I keeled over. And my wife said that it really scared them. They came in and they Narcaned you, and Narcan is something that gobbles up the opiates. And they Narcaned you. She had it written down 3 times, and you weren't coming back. So they put me in intensive care for the night and had all this equipment and tubes and stuff on me. And I don't know any of this. My wife hung in there. And at some point during that night, I left my body. And I found myself flying through this star-filled realm. Every time I tell this story, I just start smiling because it all comes back. But yeah, I was flying through this star-filled realm, and there were all these magnificent stars, orbs, all around me, and they were so welcoming. And it was like I was being paraded through, and all I felt was everything a human ever wants to feel. Just acceptance and love and joy and being held. And all those things, all those negative things that we have about ourselves, they were gone. They were absolutely gone. Things like, anger and resentment or spite or jealousy. In my opinion, those emotions do not travel with us. They stay here. They're tools for us to learn from. So anyway, I was flying through this star-filled realm, feeling absolutely ecstatic, like a cosmic orgasm. And it wasn't just an explosion. That was a full-time vibe. That is what we come from. We get glimpses of it here when we score the winning touchdown, or we get that job we wanted, or get the girl, and all these victories, if you roll them all into one, times it by 1,000,000, that is your vibration. So yeah, we come down here to push against this really dense, harsh vibrations. And it's really a wonderful gift. It really is. I'm cruising along, and there was cosmic orgasm, just continuous. And I felt like I'd been released from a hot, dark closet. And I was this huge expanded cloud, a huge expanded balloon. It seemed like I went out forever. And the thing that I kept saying while I was flying along and I was enjoying everything, and I kept saying, how in the world did I believe I was this dude? It was such a crazy trick that I was this person, and I had all these good points and bad points, and buttons. We all have them, emotional buttons that are going to send me into whatever depression, and they were gone. All that was gone. All that was gone, and that remained with the person that was Bill Letson. And I had full knowledge of Bill Letson's entire life and knew all the details, and I didn't want anything to do with it. And I like him. He's a good guy, but I didn't want anything to do with it. The thought of going back was out of the question. I was well aware that my body was behind, and it was like a banana peel. What are you going to do with a banana peel? Throw it away. And that's what it felt like. So I was flying along, and then all of a sudden I landed. I landed in a place that was solid.
We took a page from the military's playbook and built a portable solar power generator that can protect you and your family from the aging power grid. And you can get it on this page for the first time ever on an easy monthly payment plan.
It had indirect lighting, and there were gurneys around, and there was equipment that was hanging from the ceiling. It was like a facility or a clinic or something. And right in front of me, there were beings. There were these 3 short little hooded guys, and they looked exactly like those beings in the movie Communion. The guys I saw, they were in front of me. They had big smiles on their face, and they had these dark hoods and squatty little bodies. And one woman wrote to me, and she said, I was taken by these many times as a kid. And she goes, I called them the Warthog Men. The Warthog Men have come and taken me. And she said, when I saw that movie Communion, I dropped my popcorn. And says that they looked exactly like that. And I've gotten a number of emails from people saying, thank you for doing this because I thought it was just mine. So anyway, yeah, they look kind of, I don't know, creepy is the right word, but they look different. But for me, they were sweethearts. And they were saying things like, how was it? What did you learn? What can you tell us? And I was extremely confused. All of a sudden, I was in this place with these beings from a cartoon, basically. And one of them stepped forward and he took a long look at me, and then he turned to the other two and he said, he doesn't remember us. And they all started giggling. And I was like, well, guys, I'm having a little trouble. All of a sudden, things are very strange from my perspective, and I kind of remember you, but give me a little time. And they were giggling and bouncing around, and they were wonderful. And then there was this other guy, and he was sort of in charge. He was kind of in the background. He came forward, and he was this tall, wispy guy, and he had this incredible ecstatic smile. His eyes were open, his eyebrows were up, and he had this wonderful smile and laugh. And he was obviously in charge, but he was the best boss anybody could ever have. He wasn't, very strict at all. When he came forward towards me, my throat just tightened and my chest expanded. And I thought I was going to break down in uncontrollable crying from love. There was so much love pouring from this being that it was overwhelming. It was paralyzing. And I just loved it. I loved those guys. He was cool. There was some back and forth stuff. And every time I said something, he had this chuckle. I could feel it inside of me. He had this laugh. I got the impression that, looking at it from a third person, that was a relationship between a father and a child. And he loved me unconditionally. And at one point I said, I'm not going back there. No way, no how, ever. So I guess I got to move on from this place eventually. And so, what's next? A review of my life? Would you guys like to get started with that? And he just loved that. He just cracked up like I was a little toddler trying to take over.
So I'll play the rest of that at the end. How do you feel about that?
Very interesting. Very interesting.
What are some of the key points that you can take from there? And then we'll ask Don what he would take from there, and we'll continue the conversation when we left off at.
That was interesting in regards to, because like I understand in order for us to gain what we need or get the experience we need or get the message we need, the understanding we need, there's certain things that has to be done for us to connect with in order for us to get the understanding. And I feel like him explaining in his story was the reason him experiencing things, or him seeing that movie. Maybe that movie was able to help him connect to understand what he was experiencing or going through, or come to a remembrance of what it is that he was, going through and traveling. So that's what I was taking from it. It was very interesting. And to see that, because we all go through these things in different forms and formats. I wouldn't say I had an experience like that, but I had a similar somewhat experience to that nature. And yeah, it opened my eyes up to know that, yeah, this is deeper than what we think it is. You know what I'm saying? But that was a very interesting way of him explaining what he experienced, and the simple fact of him knowing what true unconditional love feels like, and what that he can only feel that. He can only explain it to the best of his abilities, but he can't explain to you how it felt. He can only explain to you what it felt like.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn, have you ever experienced something spiritual within your transformation? Can you explain if you felt anything spiritual, like an idea or example that you've been through that you were like, I know you're trying to speak to me right now.
Yo, that's every day, bro. Every day, literally every day. I am getting deeper and deeper into like this spiritual connection, which I asked for. You know, the three things I ever asked for when I first started my spiritual journey was for me to have better communication. And I'm not talking about just your ordinary communication with what we doing right here, right now, but communication with everything around us.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I went on a trail, right? And I decided to stop and it's like a beachfront. It's like water and rocks or whatever, and it's sunny, right? So I started screaming. I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time to just scream, get it all out or whatever. So I started screaming and saying, I love you and I'm grateful for where I'm at today. As soon as I said all of that, an orange butterfly just came out of nowhere, just right in front of me. And I was like, yo, that's a sign right there that you're listening. This is how I'm telling y'all. It's so freaking magical. And to go back to that, what the guy said also in in that movie or whatever that video clip was, he said in the beginning, "Yo, as soon as I seen this like space thing and I started floating towards it, I didn't feel resentment. I didn't feel any pain, no anger." You see all of these things, and that's what I was talking about prior. And if y'all didn't hear me because of the mic, I had to switch phones now. So, you gotta let go, detox. Let go of things that's vibrating low. You know, all these patterns. This is how you cage yourself here. When we talk about a prison, you only create a prison within your mind. This is a very powerful weapon, just as much as your voice and your heart. You get me? Your thoughts are nothing but seeds growing. So you gotta learn how you. And I told you this before, Jay, on the live. You know, you gotta be your own bouncer. This is a huge ass club, and the thoughts are trying to get into your mind. Oh, they want to party in your head.
Yeah,
They want.
they're
They
not
want
21
to.
yet though.
They want word. And that's what you got to do. You got to be that bouncer outside and be like, nah, we not accepting that today. Negative thoughts, we not playing. We're not going to entertain you. Because once you entertain a negative thought, you give access to your subconscious mind. It's like you're telling your subconscious mind, yo, play on this.
Mm-hmm.
Build something with this now. And then that's how you get the negative thought at the negative thought. Well, if this is going to happen, for instance, music. If you about to perform, if you over here getting the guts like, my performance probably gonna be bad. It's gonna be trash. Boom, you already setting it up right there. And then that's what's gonna open up the door for any other negative thought to be like, yeah, you ain't gonna perform well. You probably mess up here, and then you gonna think it's gonna be a bad night.
You're creating fears that haven't even existed yet.
Yes. Right. Yes. You are the spider creating the web. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what is happening. It's like thoughts are like nothing but webs. And at the end of the day, it's like the finale is like a grand scheme, big web. You know what I mean? To pull on. And you're in here. But just like Brother Panic said in one of his last interviews, he said, yo, you got to stop operating from here. Get out of here and operate in your heart. This is the truth right here. This is the kingdom. This is heaven right here. Your heart. This is why they focus. And then when I say they, I mean the government. Anything outside of you is trying to stop you from operating from your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is everything. You know what I mean? This is how you operate. And there's this woman named she's a singer. Her song is called Your Love is a Lifesaver. Y'all can check that out. Listen to the song, please. Forgot the lady name, but just type in my love is a lifesaver.
I'm gonna pull it up right now while you're talking.
Gail Adams, that's her name, Gail Adams.
Nice.
She's in that song, she's literally telling you how powerful your love is. Your love will shine through amongst it all. People think love is like some squishy, ushy, like you gotta be all warm, cuddly. Love will beat your ass. As you can see, you know, when you get into relationships and stuff like that, love will beat you up. Love will make you cry. Love will make you mad. There's no explaining this type of energy. It just is. You see what I'm talking about? Just like how I said earlier about I am. I'm not, I'm nothing. And it's so funny. I had an experience. Let me just say that. I had an experience. I don't want to go too deep into detail, but I had an experience where um I seen an angel, right? The angel picks me up, fly in the air. And I was like, yo, let me ask some questions now. I was like, yo, what's my name? This is when I was caught up into like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Literally, the angel was like, started laughing and said, you have no name, silly. I heard that clear as day during meditation. You have no name. And at first I was like, yo, what is that? What is the meaning behind that? Having no name. Well, all these names that you're putting on yourself right here, right now, today, you're creating nothing but egos. You get me? You get what I'm saying? You have no earthly name. These are nothing but titles. This is why God is not even God. I get like you go up to God, God gonna be like, oh, God's gonna look at you like, oh, you came from Earth. That's what they call me there. You get what I'm saying? I know where you came from. In other places, that's not even the name of this type of divine energy.
Dig deeper. Your name is a corporation on Earth.
Word, you feel me? They ripping you off right now. It's actually even your birth certificate right now. You could get money for that right now.
Right now, you have a trust account.
We in
right
the process.
now.
Don't worry, we in the process. We already got them setting up. We getting back our sovereignty for that one. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I don't even want. I see that perspective. Like when people go in and do that. I mean, do it how you feel. But as far as I don't like associating with nothing that the government is giving us, because it's even to fight for something that's not even supposed to be fighting for land. This land is free. They got it to a point where you're paying for this now. To live here when you're supposed to be here for free and to learn. This is how distracted and then they made it out to be. As far as even that you're paying for water, bro. That's like one of the craziest things ever.
Deep.
You know what I mean? Other beings will come here and laugh. This is why they say like humanity probably at its low. They don't know, they don't see these things. And it's like we got smacked in our face so much, we got numb to it.
The grays come down and be like, y'all still paying for water?
For water? What? $1, $2, $3, $5? And all they're telling you, and they just slapping labels on it, telling you different brands, and it's all the same.
That was filtered by Poland.
Yeah. But this is like the true mind games they play on. But I don't want to go too far off topic. But like I was saying, so when we talking about like this divine energy and spirituality and stuff like that, know this is a game that you're playing, y'all. And I know this is tough. This is a tough for a lot of people, because when you ascend, you're not leaving with your kids. You're not leaving with your parents. You're not leaving with your girlfriend. None of these things. See, this is how deep this stuff gets, and why. And I was trying to explain this to you on the live, JR. Why spirits come back here? It's not just because they want to learn. It's because you left things here as far as kids. You know what I'm saying? You created a kid comes in, the spirit comes in, you got attached to it, and now you want to come back probably after you ascended and say, yo, I probably want to go back and see where they at right now. You know what I mean? I want to go. That's where you become a guide. If you watch the Soul movie, the dude became a dog just to be a guide for the person. Yep. You know what I mean? For the spirit, just to protect you. Yep. And that's what some of our grandmothers, our ancestors within our DNA, you know what I mean, they're doing right now. Some of them had to transcend right at this very moment. These past 3-4 years, people was looking at death like, yo, man, my parents died. They're not dying. Energy never dies. They're transcending so they can help you for this type of situation that we're facing right here, right now. This is why you get the angel numbers, the signs, you know what I mean, the 222s, the 333s, the 444s, the synchronicities, when you even talking, the telepathic stuff, all of this is access right here, right now for us. It's all coming together. And this is why when I say it's always been about you. And that's a tough, like I said, it's a tough decision to make, as a spirit, because how many attachments you've made along the years. Now the question is, can you let go of this? Or will you stay here? That's a spirit thing. And this is a free will thing. This is all a choice. You have nothing but choices.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Do you think when you ascend, the ones that choose to come back, they want to experience what they didn't get to experience, to try it again?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, of course. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're here to gain as much experience as possible and take it back to your higher self. That's all you're doing. You're nothing but a piece of your higher self.
You bugged me out when the way you broke it down, and you were like, go to sleep. When you go to sleep, something occurs within your dreams, and then, it takes. Okay, so you experience what you experience physically throughout the day, and then when you go to sleep, your higher self takes
that data from you, that microchip,
and then go ahead, wake up again the next day,
and do it over. Do it over. I need more. There's a reason why you came here. I need more information on this plane. You know what I mean? Some of us came from higher dimensions. There's freaking so much. It's infinite. People think it's like 30, 45, 100. It's infinite. If we're talking about source here, source is infinite. This is why we're forever learning. Even after you ascend, your ass is going to go somewhere else and learn. You know what I mean? This is nothing but a learning process, and you're seeing it from all angles. And it is always going to bring you back to you. You is source. You is everything. This is why I say you.
Can you recant a dream that you utilized in the physical plane?
Let's see. I mean, any dream that you can remember, let's put it like this. Any dream that you can remember is something for you to look forward to happening here. You get what I'm saying? It's just a piece. Like I said, if you're able to remember it, it's for you to use and utilize here. You know what I mean? So it could be whatever. Like I had one of these dreams, aka I was in some other realm or whatever, and and this was so freaking weird because it happened so fast, because it was like where I was in this like indigenous type of tribe or whatever. Everybody was just having fun. It was a big campfire, everybody dancing, singing, da da da. And then I heard my name being called, like, is Donovan here? Is Donovan here? Is Donovan here? And I'm like, everybody just, and this was in the dream. Everybody just stopped, looked around, and I was like, and looked at me. And then I said, yeah, I'm right here. And then they was all like, okay, shh. As soon as they kept doing that, I fell asleep, woke up here. That opened my eyes like, yo, is that how we're transitioning out of other realms, going to sleep to ascend? You know what I mean? Like I said,
so you're saying that in this dream, in this other realm,
he experienced
that, and they went, shh. So you slept in the realm, you fell asleep in this other realm, which woke you up here in this realm. So you're actually, so while we're awake here physically, your higher self is asleep right now.
Now, you get what I'm saying? Somewhere else.
Yeah. And then when you sleep, you wake up at the other realm. You wake
up. I can wake up anywhere. This is how fun life is, literally. Man, once you get past this earthly thinking, you get me? This earthly mindset. Yes. And that's exactly what the guy was saying in the video clip. Yeah. You know what I mean? He didn't feel like there was nothing holding me. Mm-hmm. He felt so free within his love, free within his being. And that's what we're going to get back to. That's why I'm saying when we talk about death and all this other stuff, you got to mentally prepare yourself to get yourself out of that type of mindset. Well, I'm just going to reincarnate here, or when I die, that's it. You got to get yourself up out of that type of mindset, because you're more than this, and you're going to do even more once you transcend. So think of it, you created your own death. You even wrote all this stuff down. You came in here with tools, you got a gifts, these are everything, abilities. You checked off all the marks of what you wanted to do, how you was going to exit here, everything.
Right.
So just expect the unexpected. You get me?
Oh, thank you. Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Expect the unexpected.
Thank you. That's my life living right there,
You
bro.
feel
I
me?
really expect the unexpected. So I'm never scared of that shit, bro.
Word. That's how you gotta be. All you're doing is just playing out your story that you already wrote. You know what I mean? Don't allow the material world, this reminding realm, to get you caught up into you're just that. And, you know, there's a lot of minds, a lot of spirits trapped here because of that type of one-way thinking.
I have to ask you this question because it's dawning on me. What is the purpose of life?
Nobody knows.
I'm
gonna keep it funky with you.
You don't know the full aspect.
You will never know the full.
Right. But I'll give you a perspective, just like what Don said earlier. Life, if you take out the L and you take out the E in life, you have the letters IF, which is if. If is a choice. You have choices here in life. You choose what you want. You choose how you want to experience it.
That's the purpose, experience.
Yes, I was about to say, you're just here to experience. Imagine you are source, you're the man, you're the God, you're everything. Right. And you sitting up here, you're able to do it all. You know you're gonna get bored at some point. So all right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut myself into gazillion, million, bazillion pieces and experience that.
I love how you did this.
Because that's exactly what it is, bro.
The way Dawn broke it down to me in his live, he said, grab a cup of water. He says, and this is what blew my mind. He goes,
like the
grab
ocean.
A cup of water, go to the middle of the ocean, pick up the water, pick up a glass of water, right? Now, dump that back into the ocean.
That's exactly what it is, bro.
That's exactly what this is.
The water has its own consciousness. Everything has its own consciousness already. So what I was telling JR the other day, you know, just about just going to the ocean. The ocean is the body, is the main source. You take a cup, you take a cup of water of that. That's your spirit now. You know what I mean? You dump it else anywhere. You know what I mean? That's your soul. You're operating off these things. You get me? But you could always pick up that water, dump yourself right back in the ocean. You know what I mean? The collective consciousness, the one.
Consciousness.
You know what I mean?
You break that down into the perspective of we're the gazillion pieces, and if we all come together, we're the collective conscious.
But the only way we can come together, this is why people got to truly understand this, is that when you completely love yourself, you face you. That's how we come together. How, think of it like this. I could be on my game. I could master myself. The brother over here could master himself. But if you not mastered, what are you going to do? Like, say if there's mad stars in the sky, right now. We all blinking, but you're not even blinking. You're not shining your light because you don't know how to use your light. You don't know how to do nothing. So it's like we're all guides, right? And we're shining our light. We're pointing you in the right direction, but someone right now is not operating. They can't shine their light. So now we're stuck. Now the collective consciousness could go but so far right here because a person is not doing the individual work. Before there's a we, there's a you. And this is why I say you got to get back to you every day. Understand yourself. Understand your skill. Understand your gifts, because what you bring to the table is extraordinary. It's something different. We're all different for a reason.
Your function to make this body work is vital and essential. If you not functioning, the body not operating in this correct manner. You get what I mean? We're all the collective of one body. So if we all participate in our own function and function the way we are supposed to operate, then the whole body will operate and manifest what it is needed. So, you know, that's what Don's saying. It's like you got to work on you. So when you operate in you, then everybody else is operating in them, and we all collectively are operating together and running smoothly.
That's what we're essentially doing.
Yes.
That's why all of this exists.
Yeah.
Yes.
Think of us. Just think of us all like individual cells right now. You know what I mean? A cell, a damaged cell in the body right now. Think of us like somebody got to go help that side right now. That's an alert in the body. If a damaged cell happens in my leg, yo, there's an error going on. This is why it's swelling right now down in the body.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Somebody, we as a collective got to fix that now. You know what I mean? But we can't totally fix it unless that individual cell know what it's capable of doing, where to go. You know what I mean? There's certain cells in the body that never go down to the feet. It's meant to stay up on the head so this cell can just operate and do what it do up here. Think of Osmosis Jones. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Classics.
You feel me? It's just like Osmosis Jones. You know what I mean? When there was a damaged cell, when they was going to war internally, they was showing you this. You know what I mean? The war. See, people get caught up with the war being outside of us, and trust me, yes, everybody get caught up in it. Like, yo, I hope that don't happen over here. But there's a war literally going on internally. You know what I mean? Your cells is fighting every day, just because by what you're listening to, what you eating, what you seeing every day. It's fighting. They working 24/7. And I always used to say this too, like, don't ever let your cells go and organs go on strike. It's a wrap. It's a wrap if they go on strike on you.
And that means that's basically what he's saying is if you let your cells and things like that damage and work against you and not work properly, they go on strike saying fuck you, then your physical is gone.
Yeah, you feel me? They just gonna give up.
Yeah.
And so it is when we talking about just like the collective consciousness, like I said, it always come back to you. And this is why I said the choices that we make as individual spirits, and we come with this knowing. And I know, because I remember, I forgot the lady's name, old lady too. She was like, yo, this is probably one of the hardest planets to like go to school for. Because once you come down here, you know everything. Like I said, think of your higher self. Your higher self knows every freaking thing. Your past lives, what you've been doing, everything. It's like a huge ass archive. But you come here to Earth and you get totally wiped out as soon as you come through the light, through the womb. You know what I mean? You don't remember it. Ish. So all you, even if you're talking your Google Gagas and all that, that's a divine language right there. But to others, to the other spirits that's children still, just been here longer. Remember, everybody's a child still. It don't matter if you've been here for 60 years, 70 years, 40 years, still a child. That's like this in the universe as far as your so-called time.
What was it that you experienced in the physical that put you on this journey? What was it that you said it's time to tap into something else?
Well, like I told you before, like in the live, like I've always been aware, you know what I mean? But what really just turned it up a notch, you know, was when I started asking questions. And I remember the brother saying this earlier about questions. That's so freaking important. You know what I mean? You got to ask questions, y'all. That's exactly what I did. I said, yo, I went on a trail. I went on a walk by myself in this park or whatever. And I was just getting hit. Like, I felt like, yo, what can I do? I know there's more. You know what I mean? And when you start asking deep questions like that, the universe is listening. So the universe is like, yes, we got a curious one. We can teach now. Yes. Just think of your higher self as like, yeah, like I'm ready. Like this is what you want to do. All you had to do was just ask. That's all you got to do. That's all you have. This game is very simple, very easy. But what we do as humanity and as so-called humans, we complicate it. You get me? When we complicate it so to the point where some of us are completely lost. And this is why some of us are here to speak up and help, you know, help people, reminding them, planting our seeds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I used to say this too, you know what I mean? Because we are the true seed planters.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna plant the seed. Don't sit up here and plant a seed and try to convince somebody. You know what I mean? Don't sit up here and argue with the seed. Let it grow. Move on to the next one. Move on to the next seed. And the next, you gotta keep planting seeds.
Let me ask you a question, Dom.
Uh-huh.
When you have your episodes of Dom Prince Tea and Wisdom, give us an example. Let's say me and Ak are not here right now.
Yeah.
I want my audience that tunes in after this live. Give me an example of what that's like when you first turn on your camera. We're not here right now.
Okay.
Action,
Well,
Dom Prince Tea and Wisdom.
it's funny because I do two things. So the ones y'all see on my YouTube right now, they're affirmation videos. So on affirmation videos, which something I talked about today was today's messages, stepping up to the plate. Every single day you have to step up to the plate with confidence. You know what I mean? With being mindful and hitting it out the park. You know what I mean? And so I just break that down throughout when it comes to my affirmation videos, just how you can step up to the plate today and be better, a better version of you, communicate better, listen to yourself, meditate, breathing techniques. You know what I mean? This is how you help yourself and prepare yourself to step up to the plate each and every single day and get that double, get that home run. You know what I mean? Get that knowledge and that information as much as possible. You know what I mean? It's stuff like this. This was so well designed and planned. I can't even I don't know what I'm tapping into, but it's felt like even this JR, talking to JR, going into one of his lives, this is all a test right here, right now. There's something that I asked for 2 weeks ago. You get what I'm saying? And this is how the universe works. Because I've been watching a lot of people, like I said, Brother Panic, your Bobby Hemmets, and all of them. They did interviews just like this, podcasts just like this, right? And I've been sitting there yo, I want to be a part of something like this. I want to be a part of something like this. I kept saying that. I kept saying stuff like that. Yo, this is what I want to do. Have conversations. A week ago, I'm in JR Live. We all talking, da-da-da-da. Out of nowhere, he was like, yo, something in my heart was telling me, yo, to come to your live. Da-da-da-da. We have a whole 45-minute healthy-ass conversation, which turned into this. Now I'm on a podcast with everything, doing exactly what I asked for 2 weeks ago. This is how manifestation works. That's what I'm talking about, expect the unexpected. It's never gonna come how you expect. You know what I mean? It's always gonna come different. Just to see you up on game. Even this is like a whole test right here now. All right, you want to do this? All right, let's go. Universe, all right, come on, let's get JR. JR all the way out there. He doing this. All I gotta do, because it's always 6 degrees of separation. Okay.
We talked about that last week. I know.
Always about 6 degrees of separation. Everybody knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because it's like the universe will play on that. Okay, JR, I see JR already on this podcast stuff. Let's go. Let's move him this way so he can talk to Dawn somehow. Let's get in his heart chakra. Let's lean on him today and tell him to go in that live. Boom. Go in the live, boom. And now, Dawn, you want to do something next Sunday? Da-da-da-da. Boom. Boom. Here.
How about this, Don? How about this, man? How about this? What is it, about almost 2 years ago now? It's been about almost 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Almost 2-3 years ago. I'll say it before September.
It'll be 2 years in September.
Yeah, in September. But before September 2021, I personally asked, I was like, you know what? I'm growing older. I want to be surrounded by people who have the same type of mind frame as I do, who are into the same things that I am into, who are kind of going in the same direction I'm going to. I want to have a team or be surrounded by people in that same mind frame. I want to be able to do music in a certain capacity. I want to be able to do a podcast in this capacity. I want to do all of these things, right? I go to New York in from September, and a weekend in New York to go do Fashion Week out there, right? And the company I'm modeling for has a billboard. So we're on Times Square looking at the billboard to see the company I'm walking for, see it on a billboard. I'm supporting my mom's friend who has the clothing line.
Okay.
in the process of doing that, JR's promotion billboard comes up for his song called Braveheart. His auntie, uncle, father, and one more of the and little cousins are next to us, screaming and hollering, "That's JR, that's my son." And so we're over here like, yo, who this dude? Like, he got some real supporters over here. Like, hey, that's your son? He's like, yeah, that's my son, JR the Truth. Ooh, he's like, so me and my brother, we record live. We call JR on Instagram, bro. Like, literally hit this man up. Like, hey, yo, bro, I just seen your billboard in here in Times Square. My nigga, your pops and everything going crazy, bro. You sound like a good, interesting dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's up, man? Like, we trying to, you know what I'm saying? What's the deal? Fast forward, man, a month and a half, or a couple of months later, JR comes up and he's already doing this thing called Truth Nation Center Stage, where he's doing music review lives for his podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got the opportunity to submit our music to be reviewed. Okay. When we submitted our music to be reviewed, it was like, oh snap, I want to do that. I want to be on the music review. Like, that's the opportunity I could take on in doing the podcast, like helping review music because of my knowledge and understanding in music and how I want. So then boom, I become a co-host of Truth Nation Center Stage. But prior to that, he hits me up. He goes, hey, I want to invite you to this group. We're starting. It's called Unified Media here, and we're a support group system where we go around supporting each other to break the algorithms on Instagram and all social media platforms. Where this is kind of what we're leaning towards and trying to do when it comes down to the industry, the music, the entertainment, anything in regards to that. I'm like, shit, hell yeah, bro, I'm in there. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in there. So to go back to what you're saying, this whole reason you even here having this thing, yeah, we all designed this whole entire existence right now. This is I asked for the same thing, you asked for the same thing, and here it is. We are on our show now. And then the crazy part about it is, what's today? Today is 7/2. 7 and 2 equals 9, which is complete.
Mm-hmm.
To be perfect and complete. Mm-hmm. We can't make this up. We can't make this up. We can't make this up, bro. We cannot make this up. We manifested this right here. So that's why I want to hit on that too. Like, no, I get you down exactly what you mean, because we did the same exact thing. The whole reason Unified Media and Truth Nations, all this stuff like exists, is we all did our part in manifesting what we wanted out of it. And now as collectively here we come together. And me and Akbin, like I said, we've been running this stuff for over a year and a half now, almost 2 years, man. Mm-hmm. And it's been a journey, a beautiful one at that.
I stated that.
And what's powerful about it, behind the scenes, man, I'm still getting, like, recently, there was a dude overseas. I forgot. He said he was like from Scotland or Poland or something like that. He's like, yo, I just came across your YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. Listen to your music. I saw your podcast. I love what you're doing. It goes back to what Don's saying. If you can have your energy and your frequency change the life of one person, that one person's going to, you know what I mean? And it's going to keep
domino effect.
It's going to keep doing that domino effect that person is now going to affect somebody else in a positive way, or you would hope so, and so forth and so forth. So just to hear you, Don, say that 2 weeks prior, you know, you were like, man, I would love to do what, you know, the guys that I listen to are doing, to share my thoughts and, you know, and my journey, and then to tap into your live, and then you tap into my live, and we're bouncing energy back and forth to now 2 weeks forward, we get to this point. It was divine, you know.
Yes.
Very divine.
And just to touch on how you say your name, Dewan?
Yeah.
All right. Just to touch on his story, because that story is very powerful. And something I noticed, you know, that you did was you followed your heart and you trusted your intuition right in New York. You set that whole thing up right then and there. You know what I mean? With asking and taking that picture, hitting JR up. You know what I mean? That is that motivation, that fire that went off you, that switch that went in and said, yo, if I just do this, and everything was unfolding as long as you trust your decision at that moment. And that's how powerful the moments we're in, because you never know a moment until later on. This is how important it is.
What's even crazy about it is that if I would have never threw my bag for that billboard, none of this
would happen, bro. If he wouldn't have followed his heart to put that billboard up,
my heart to put my billboard up, none of this would exist.
I
was doing it bits and pieces on Facebook, going live with JR on Facebook, or reviewing some music here and there for a couple episodes on Facebook, but nothing was solidified and stamped as like, moving forward, that it can be a potential business or even have the potential to have positive influence. And for me, my thing has always been like, what can I do online that can set a precedent that's going to be different compared to other podcasts? And there's a shit ton of podcasts. We know it, whether it's somebody that's talking within the industry, whether it's somebody that's talking about current events, past events, conspiracies, what's happening, the first 48 homicides, whatever. Everybody has their own niche. I wanted to come in and make sure that once I met somebody like I pay attention to detail, and I pay attention to, what I mean, what's meant for the concoction, what did you call it? You said the one conscience. I pay attention to all that. So I came into my life as I'm pursuing what I'm pursuing, and he initiates it. He doesn't even fucking second guess it. He doesn't question it. No, he's like, yo, can I have a seat at the table to do whatever? And in my head, I'm like, man, that's no fucking brainer. I can't do this by myself. It takes a village to build an empire. I already knew it was going to be, that it was meant to be the way it was meant to be.
Oh yeah, man. Look, it got to the point where now it's funny. I was talking to my mom. They can't see you without seeing me, bro.
That's crazy.
When they see me, they see JR the truth too, and vice versa.
And this is why I gotta give you your flowers now, JR. I've known you for so long, it's not even funny. But one thing, you gotta give people their flowers now, in the moment now, not when they blowing up or anything, or even when they at their lowest. You give them the flowers just because what they've been doing internally. Me knowing JR this long, he always want to be like, yo, I gotta do this. I got always taking risks. Yeah. And I love that about him, yo, so much. Happy birthday to your sister too, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Like he's just always on the like, yo, I gotta do this. I want to do better. I want to do more. And it's you that's creating something that's magical right here, right now, that's internally going on in you, that's making this whole effect happen. You know what I mean? So definitely got to give you your flowers now and say thank you for just being yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people, even today,
Oh man, he died.
We gotta get him back. Get him back. I know it was about to get deep. He was about to get, because he's known me. We've known each other for a very long time. Like, I think he's known me as long as I've been doing music.
Damn, that's good.
You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy, Octo, too? I'm looking at him and I'm getting his energy, listening to him and stuff like that. I feel connected to him in a way where I don't personally, physically have met him, but I felt that spiritually I met this man before. His spirit,
I knew that, and I had a feeling that that's what this conversation was going to do for both of us, because for me, it's just a reminder of a piece of someone who was in my life prior, that wasn't in my life for the 4 years. And during those 4 years that he wasn't in my life, me and him were taking similar paths, spiritual journey. We were both looking for something different. So for it to come back around 4 years later and have these conversations and talk, when he comes back, I want to give him his flowers too, because what I've noticed within him, think of an artist who created party fun music and now is creating spiritual love, harmonic, and is changing his direction. Like he's being himself. And the way he said it, I don't present myself on social media as somebody that has more than what he already has or has in general. I'm going to be as transparent as I can be without fully exposing myself to the point where it's like people don't have to know every single detail. My personal is my personal. That's my covenant. But I'm going to showcase enough where I can let people know that, you know, I'm not driving the fancy car, or I don't have the biggest house on the block. I'm not chasing monetary gain. I'm chasing how can I influence somebody to change their life?
Right. And remember I told you, man, just on from another perspective, in another way, your name being what it means, even though it's a name, it's a title, but the underlying function of what it means is to be a giver. You've always been in a position, or wanted to put yourself in a position to give something to somebody.
Right.
It's a natural function for you, and you just so happen to come into a vessel whose functionality and ability is Jonathan, a giver. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just you manifested that. Oh, I needed to be able to do this in this way. I created this vessel that is appealing to this manner and has these different capabilities and tools, and now I can utilize it to be able to give what is needed to be given for this specific manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, good to have you back, Don, man. I don't know, you know,
yo,
phone
I ain't gonna hold you. We talking so much divine stuff right now. The phone overheated. That's
that's that energy. Man, I just want to say, Don, that I appreciate you giving me my flowers.
Yes,
you know, sir. when you were disconnected briefly, I did tell Ak that we've known each other prior for so long, for over a decade, when we both started off in this music. And you know, we developed not only a skill set within our music, but we developed something within ourselves to find that understanding, like you said, to move the president forward, to just try to make changes and influence people in a positive way. I love the Don Pritt Tea with Wisdom, you know, when he goes live in the morning, whether on Instagram or YouTube. Like, those things are a necessity. It's important to have those kind of conversations to strike the thought process, to be like, yo, what can I do different in my life? Why am I seeking these why am I seeking these different questions? Why am I questioning every single little detail whenever something's presented to me? And those are the questions you have to ask yourself on a daily basis. I think you muted yourself.
Am I choppy still?
Why, you had to go back on the other phone?
Yeah, real quick. I'm just waiting for the other phone to like calm down.
Yeah, but you're fine.
Yes, I totally agree with you and stuff, bro. Just like I said, we just gotta learn how to follow our hearts. You know, don't always lead with your mind. Remember, you're meant to control this as much as possible. You know what I mean? Master yourself. Master the love for yourself. You know what I mean? That's what I really believe we should be focusing on right here in this very moment, as far as loving ourselves unconditionally. When we say that word unconditionally, understand that means through any and everything. You must love yourself.
No conditions.
You know what I mean?
Nothing stopping you.
And there'd be sometimes you could, and there's a lot of people that judge themselves, you know what I mean, and judge others. Remember, you can only judge yourself at the end of the day. This is not like, and I always used to say this too in my tea with Dons, you know what I mean? At the end all, you're gonna just meet you. You're not meeting people think you're gonna meet source and stuff. You're gonna meet you. You are the source. You get what I'm saying? So knowing that you is gonna show you everything. It's gonna play black all that you've done. You know what I mean? Then you probably gonna ask you, yo, you want to do it again? You want to experience this more? Or you want to venture off. Remember, all you're doing is nothing but gaining experiences. I forgot there was another movie that breaks stuff down like that as well. So as far as the multiverse. I'm glad you spoke.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name, but I know there's this show on Netflix called Manifest. And in that,
Manifest
it tells you how we are all connected, and then it goes back and show you how we're connected. And in there they call it was the French word was called debonair it was in French, but it's basically the divine consciousness. That's what it was like. That's what it all boiled down to. Divine consciousness, and it's all connected. So that same experience old boy was given us in his on a YouTube channel. There's a scene in there where the pilot of the plane does exactly that same thing. Sees that light, goes towards that light, and feels nothing. It felt like it was supposed to happen. Like he felt all of the love. He didn't feel no hate, no nothing. He felt all of it was the most beautiful thing. It was almost like it was almost like feeling at peace, being at one, being completed.
It's almost like if the people in Hollywood got all the answers, huh?
Yeah. No, that they don't have all the answers, but you know what I'm saying, what they do is manipulate the stories and manipulate the things that we do all have. So, you know, but yeah, like that, like in that movie was just showing that, and it was always interesting to me because of, you know, my spiritual upbringing and what I believe in. It correlates to the same thing. You know what I mean? Well, we say to be carnally minded is death, or to be without understanding. But to be spiritually minded is life and everlasting, because you have a inner and understanding of something. And that's what Manifest did for me. It was just showing how we were all connected in divine consciousness, and that if you got to go back and recorrect what you did. You get a second chance at doing certain things, or you get the opportunity to come back, and what you didn't learn or what you experienced, you didn't get to experience, and you want to change to experience something different and better, then you have that opportunity to do that. And that series, it was like 5 seasons. It's like 4 or 5 seasons that it breaks that all down, bro. It breaks it all down, and it's a pretty dope show. I encourage everyone to watch it just as a form of enlightenment.
I want to thank Dawn Prince, Tea and Wisdom, for coming through. I want you guys to subscribe to his channel. If you enjoyed this episode, when you play it back, if it resonates with you, please share this live, share this episode. There were so many gems that were dropped today from Don, from Ak, and myself. I actually want to play this video, this segment from 24 hours ago from Don Prince, Tea and Wisdom on his YouTube channel. This is called I Am Proud to Be Me. This is a little taste of Don Prince and what he does on this specific channel. This is his second channel from his music one. So if you want to support both channels, subscribe as soon as possible once we get off this live. This is Don Prince, Tea and Wisdom. This is I'm Proud to Be Me. Check this out.
Peace, 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 peace. We back with another divine, loving, healing energy video, sending this good ass energy not only to you, but to your ancestors within your DNA, to your city, to your state, to your surroundings, loved ones, spirit guides, guardian angels, and most importantly, you. Get your ass up, and you know what to do. Love yourself and appreciate everything that you're doing. Now, today's message is, I am proud to be me. I am proud to be me. I am proud to be me. And I want y'all to say this affirmation with conviction, with conviction, y'all, and say it throughout the day, because you got to be proud to be yourself. You know what I mean? We got to get from this illusion where we got to be someone else to feel good. Be yourself to feel good. You feel me? That's what's going to get you happy, excited, pumped up, motivated every single day. When you choose you, when you allow yourself to express yourself freely, when you let go of limitations and stop putting limitations upon yourself. We got to truly understand how important it is to be ourselves and know that we're so much more. Okay? And this is why you are you. Out of a billion gazillion people on this planet, right? It's only one you, and you got to continue to dig deep into why is that and what you can bring to the table. And I'm telling you right now, it's your love that it's a lifesaver. You know what I mean? It's the wisdom within you. It's that smile of yours. You know, It's the peace, it's your energy that just shakes up the room, that changes the vibes in a good way. Okay? It's you being your authentic self that is the game changer, y'all. You see, we get caught up into doing so much other things. Oh, we gotta wear the flashy clothes, we gotta get the nice car, all this other stuff. You gotta just truly be your authentic self. Just be you to get whatever you have to get, whatever you're seeking. All you have to do is be yourself. This is why everybody always tell you this, but in the brain it feels like if I just be myself, I'm gonna just not get anything. I'm gonna just not doing. That's a bad mindset and way to think. It's so different than just saying, yo, I'm proud to be me. Watch me continuously evolve into uh what I want to say, greater and better situations. You know, just by my presence alone, I am changing hearts, minds for the better. My presence alone. I am so light and dark, and I'm so freaking balanced. I could change every and anything around me in a good way, in a positive way. You know what I mean? But love is everything, and that's something you hold. You know, you probably hold so much love within you. It's- this is why people be feeling so overwhelmed probably by you, because it's your love that is just so boom. It's like a big giant wave. Just smacking us like, oh snap. You know what I mean? And that's a good ass feeling, y'all. The way you do things is amazing. And I want to tell you that right here, right now, to keep growing, keep being you, keep loving you, keep looking yourself in the mirror and say, yo, I am great. You know what I mean? And it's time to elevate every single second, you know, within that type of mindset. And you're capable of doing it. You're capable of putting that thing down that doesn't serve you no more, leaving that person alone that doesn't serve you no more. You know who serves you the best? You. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm sending divine, loving, healing energy to you all. Continue to prosper, continue to smile, continue to be you. Thank you for watching this video. I see you. Peace and I share.
Be you.
That's Don. So that's Don Prince, Tea and Wisdom. Make sure you go subscribe on his music channel and his Don Prince Tea and Wisdom channel if you want to wake up with those kind of messages. Man, any final words, Aki, and then I'm gonna get some final words from Don before we head out. What can you take from meeting Don Prince first time? Because I remember I gave you a brief introduction of who you will be introduced to. Now that you've kind of soaked it all up, what was your expectation, and was it surpassed? Were you surprised?
I didn't have an expectation. I was expecting the unexpected.
I was expecting the unexpected.
That's the first thing I was saying. He wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't I wanted to meet. I want to see. You know, I listen to when people tell me about people, or even the same thing when I tell people about other people. I'm not telling you to give you an idea or a judgment of them. I'm just telling you, hey, this was my experience with this person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what I gained from it. My experience, like based on what you told me, I definitely can say though, what you said and what you've experienced with this man resonates very well, because it makes sense. And now, you know what I'm saying, to come to this, to have this show and to speak about this, and to see that 2 weeks ago, this man was asking to be a part of something big and something like this, and to now to be on here like this, you know what I'm saying, that right there was something that's amazing to me, because, you know, I believe in the same thing. I know everything happens for a reason. We can create the reason, and we can create the outcome of it. And so therefore, when you ask questions, you're going to get the answer. You can create the answer because you're asking the question. You're just trying to know what it is. And, you know, meeting this man, Don, he definitely understands what the Don in his name means. You get what I mean? You know, he's tapped into himself, and I appreciate having this experience with you, sir, and meeting you, because that's how I am, man. I'm a spiritual and intellectual as well. I just come from different perspectives and view things and give enlightenment from who I am, because, you know, I like what you said earlier. You know, a name is a title. Yeah, a name is a title. But from my perspective, a name is, it also gives you the ability to function, or your ability to have a function. Why? It's your ability of being in existence. So even though we all have different titles, it's because of the title of our function. It's because of what we are supposed to function as. Is the reason why we're titled like this. You know what I'm saying? A cell phone is titled a cell phone because it has cellular signals in a phonetic manner to be perceived and received or transmitted. So that, you know what I'm saying, that ability, that right there, I already knew when I heard the name Don and Prince. I'm like, my man understands. My man he's there for, you know what I'm saying, from this perspective. So I'm more honored and pleased and just grateful to the creator that we got to experience each other in this format, in this, you know what I'm saying, from your perspective and my perspective, and share our enlightenment with each other, man. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. And to leave my last little thoughts about the show, man. This man has spoken, said some things that I haven't gotten fully in tune to yet. You know what I mean? And that I appreciate you bringing the light over here to that. You know what I'm saying? Shedding light to the understanding and the dimension traveling when it comes down to dreams, holding on to certain dreams, or why you remember certain ones because of the fact that it impacted you a certain way. So you know what I'm saying, what you can learn from it, or what you can use to help someone else with it. And real quickly before I go, I had an experience like the gentleman who we did listen to earlier, where I had a mental breakdown. I physically, my body was able to move around and do things. My brothers, my mom, and everybody got to see me, but mentally I was not here. I was stuck in my mind to the point where I'm trying to talk to them, and the only thing that they hear was womp, 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 like Charlie Brown, right? In my mind, I'm clearly speaking and expressing to them what it is I'm trying to say, and they can't understand me. And in that time, in that manner, that was me getting more in tune to myself. I had to go really dig deep down into myself and find out, why am I going through this process? And it was for me to come back and say, hey, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You are not this. This is not you. You can create this. Don't let your mind is the most deceitful thing. You get what I mean? It can deceive you because it's designed and designated for it to collect information and for it to give you information at the time it's needed for you to gain an understanding of it. But you have to be able to recognize if it is the falsification of it or if it's the true facts that could be supported of it. You get what I mean? So that I went through that experience to come back to be able to tell people, hey, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just try to do things at this timely manner. You know what I'm saying? Everything you see and experience, don't hold on, stay attached to it. Let it go. Be released from it. You know what I'm saying? Take what it is you want to experience, then let it go. Because that's all it is. It's a transfer that energy. All right, I received it, now I'm transferring it out. And that's how you never stay attached to anything, and everything can continue to flow, and you can continue to flow well in it. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, Don, I appreciate you for coming and sharing your wisdom.
Definitely want to have you on the show again, Don.
Yeah.
Word. Yeah. Definitely got to be a part two. You know what I mean?
Got to be to be continued.
Right. Real.
Definitely going to be a to be continued. What's some of the final words from Don Prince, and what can we look forward from Don Prince moving forward?
First of all, let me get this out of the way real quick. My music is dropping. I got new music dropping in like 2 weeks. I'm doing more shows. I actually got one of my songs called "Can I Live." Go check that out. It's coming. It's in this new movie that's dropping in the summer. You know what I mean? I think next month. It's called B1. B1 the movie. So go check that out. It's the screening it right now in Atlanta. So it's a powerful black It's all about black empowerment and stuff like that. So, and I don't like to say black because black is nothing but a color. But at the end of the day, it's about melanated beings.
Yep.
Just us empowering ourselves and showing that it's okay to love our race, love who we are. You know
Where
what I
we
mean?
come
And
from, who we are.
from and so it's a powerful movie, and I'm thankful and grateful that I got the opportunity. Because I ain't even tell you, probably next episode I do with y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all how divine it was for me to even get that opportunity, man. It's crazy.
That
But
part, we'll say that for next one.
yeah, but also yeah, so I got shows coming up. Like I said, new music and new music videos. I also want to touch on what the brother just said too about trusting yourself, loving yourself, and transmuting energy. Man, that junk is so pivotal to do. Not to get attached to some of these experiences that are game changers within the mind and heart. You know what I mean? I went through a crazy ass spiritual experience, but at the same time I was so attached to it. My subconscious mind kept playing, like kept tuning me into that frequency to replay it until I forgave myself. And that's the thing, is about forgiveness. Remember, we also play a part in everything that we do. Remember, nothing could ever enter your space without you giving access to it or giving it the okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we got to understand that. So when I say forgive yourself and forgive both parties, forgive the situation, you got to do that. You know what I mean? It's not you don't even got to meet the person in their face. You could do it, speak it into existence. Like, yo, I forgive you. It's going to be felt.
Oh, yeah.
Energy always travels to other people, and boom. You feel me? So this, like I said, for the last words though, I just want to tell everybody to be yourself, love yourself. It's always you. Remember, when it comes to me, I'm only talking about you. You're the most important thing. I don't care about what's going on in the world. This is a material world. It's gonna fall regardless. It's supposed to. You know what I mean? All it is supposed to wake you up to you. And this is what I'm saying. I just want to get people back to themselves, loving themselves unconditionally, operating from a space of love. And even though, like I said, people, we don't know what this energy is, that frequency, you know what I mean? It's a frequency. Love is a frequency. So it's just that divine, you know what I mean, that we gotta start continuing to operate from that standpoint, and trust ourselves, trust our voice, speak up, because that's what we're all doing right here, right now, using our voice. Once you use your voice and master the frequency and the tone, your throat chakra is everything. You know what I mean? There's so many, like JR's voice. Your voice is so powerful. You know what I mean? People could understand you through your tone. Just like Dewan, the way he speaks, he could be heard. You know what I mean? This way, and people will relate to him. And this the way I'm using my voice. You know what I mean? People could relate to it. You know what I mean? But you gotta be comfortable with your voice, with who you are. You know what I mean? And that's going to take time. You know what I mean? In due time, everybody as individuals, like I said, this is an individual game, a you game. So you got to just master thyself, master your voice, master the mind, master your heart. And I love y'all. I can't wait to part 2 because I'm going off, man.
Much love to you,
We
brother.
definitely going off.
Definitely.
I love y'all,
Appreciate
man.
you,
Thank
Don.
y'all for
Love
having
you,
me.
brother. Appreciate you, brother. Talk to you soon, man. I'll
All
hit
right,
you
man.
around.
Peace.
God bless.
Peace.
Powerful, powerful.
Hey,
Powerful.
I'm very pleased with this episode.
Mm.
Very pleased
Love it,
with this episode.
And we had it was a little choppy in the first part of the segment, so forgive us. But after that intermission, that first intermission that we usually have around that 55-minute mark, push through, because, or if you want to fast forward to the 55-minute mark and go on to the rest of it, that's cool too. So first 30 minutes, hit the 55, and then digest the rest of it, because it's powerful. He even went out his way to fix his phone situation so he could drop those gems. Man,
of course. What you got to say, man? What you feeling?
Man, it's a couple different things. I mean, for me, I'm just, I'm lost for words in a way, because I know the young man from a time and a space where he was consumed by, studio, work, family, problems, smoking, drinking, and just that same cycle over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Because that's who we are as musicians and composers. We think down in the bottle, smoking some trees, hitting the stew, dropping records, dropping videos, doing
It ain't
performances.
always like that. It ain't
Yeah,
always
that it's always gonna be like that, and it's
Right.
never ending. We on fire, but then life hits you. You get a relationship, you get some kids, bills start coming in, responsibilities start knocking on the door, and things start to change as you get older. You start to value things differently. And for me, the fact that me and him had that same mark within the 4 years, because it's been 4 years of my spiritual journey as well, where I wanted to transform. So to see it, I know we're gonna speak about this behind the scenes, but I caught something that he said at the very end that hit me like a ton of bricks in a good way. I'm wondering if he said it on purpose or if it was just his spirit just speaking to him, because he ends up saying it's okay to apologize to them. Forgive them.
Forgive them. Yeah.
Forgive them. You don't got to tell them in their face. Energy is real. You can say it out loud. So I was saying it in my mind, and I'm going to say it when I get off the line so I can forgive those two individuals, because right now I don't feel that I want to say it in their face, because typically I'm the person that is the bigger individual in all these cases. So for me, I want to see if they still value who I am and what I bring to the table. As Don says, what do you bring to the plate? What do you bring to the table? But for my inner peace, for my inner standing, I'm going to take Don's approach, and I'm going to go, I forgive you, X, Y, and Z. I forgive you, X, Y, and Z, so I can move forward in peace.
Oh, yeah.
And if they feel that, and like Don says, that energy transfers, I might end up getting that phone call. So that's what that last part hit me the most.
And I'm glad he said that, because that was kind of one of the lessons that I had to learn from my spiritual battle from that time that, I'm saying, that I went through. That was me not forgiving myself for a lot of stuff, or trying to, not forgive myself or hold on to something that I needed to let go. And that was something I did. And I still do this still to this day. Whenever something comes up that I haven't forgave myself or forgave the others or whatever, the involvement, it does weigh you down. It keeps you in the
forgive them for being them. They don't know any better.
You have to, and what I'm saying, just real quickly, just in that space of forgiveness, that goes to yourself, the people you come from, and the people around you, and whoever you experience and deal, who you deal with. You have to forgive them. Sometimes people don't know what they don't know, and they are too learning. And so, like you said, we are reflections of each other. We are reflection. We reflect each other. So if you can reflect the ability to forgive, then that person can mirror and reflect that same thing and forgive and have forgiveness too. And you can show them how to do it, because some people don't know how to forgive themselves unless they're shown from someone else who has forgiven them for their mistake towards that individual. You get what I mean?
Powerful episode.
One motorcyclist.
It's Unified Media, Dropping Gems, Season 2, Episode 6. Dreams are another dimension, spiritual alignment, and so much more. We want to thank Dom Prince, T and Wisdom, for tapping in with us. Very special spirit, very special gentleman. He is tapped in. He is aligned. He is sharing his gems, his energy, and those high frequencies on that particular channel. Make sure you tap in with him on all things Dom Prince, T and Wisdom. We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place, Sunday. Stay blessed. Peace and love, man.
Deuce.
Its biggest dangers on the road, other drivers.
The coast, and we were going to live on this island by ourselves and take care of the wildlife. And it was really super remote. It was like an hour helicopter ride off the coast. And she wanted that. That was right up her alley. And I took a fire job. I still wanted excitement. But I wish I'd done that for her, because she's never asked for anything, but she did want that. So yeah, I talked a little bit about that and a few other things. And nobody was listening. They didn't care. It was obvious that I was brought in there for a quick show and tell. And I wasn't staying. It wasn't the end of my life. And I was the only one in the room that didn't know that. And at one point he said, okay, that's enough. He stepped forward like a father and said, time to go back. And that just floored me. I was like, what? Go back? I'm not going back there. There's no way. He says, yeah, you got to go back. You got things to do, and they're important. And the three little guys, it was like they were reassigned. They just disappeared. They went somewhere else in that facility. And it was just he and I, and he came forward and he's like, okay, you're going back. And as he stepped forward, I felt myself slipping back. The place just started to break up. It started to dematerialize. It's like I was being beamed out of there, and I was going to another channel, was going to another frequency. And it was a descending feeling. And I dropped away into darkness. It wasn't a good place. It wasn't someplace you wanted to be. It was lonely and it was dismal, and you didn't want to stay there. Then I was back in my body, and I woke up, and a nurse came by and she says, you're awake. And I'm like, yeah, I need to talk to you. And she said, I just got to go tell the doctor. We've been worried about you. We didn't know what was going to happen with you. We didn't know what was going on. And I said, okay, that's cool. You can go talk to the doctor. But first, what am I doing back here? You know, I was pissed. I said, I was home. I'd made it out of here. I was home with my best bros. How is it that I ended up back here? I had bought the farm. I was convinced of it. She said, honey, you've been in escrow, but you fell out of escrow and now you're back with us, and you're going to have to get your head around that. And I thought that was, looking back, that was really good advice, because after that experience, anybody who has an experience like that, the yogis and the spiritual teachers, they'll tell you, get back in your life and chop wood and carry water and do the things that support your life and keep it going, because you're on a journey. You're a soldier for the higher self, this higher version of you that came for experiences that are mapped out. Get back on the job and make them proud on the other side that you gave your best and you made the highest vibration choices in this life.
What was the dark place that you spent a little time in, and what was its point? What's the purpose of it?
It's up to us to create our vibration. When we live our life and our vibration is low because we've been selfish and self-centered and mean-spirited, and we all know these people, we've all met them. And when we leave our bodies, when we die and leave our bodies, our vibration is going to match that low vibration of those lower places, and that's where we'll be stuck. It's not forever. It's just till we sort out where we went wrong in this life, and because we are these infinite amazing beings. If you listen to those people who they give a video about going to hell, almost every time it's like they sort it out. One woman was in a coma for weeks, and at one point she sorted it out, and she started singing a spiritual song that she sang in church, and she popped right out of hell. and she said that most of the time she had no idea she was dead. This thing about leaving this world in an astonished state, you're going to bump around in these low vibrational places until you can sort out that astonishment. And for some, it could be a long time. Edgar Cayce, when he used to leave his body to give a reading, he would sit quietly until the vibration started right in his eyes, and he would start that REM sleep, that blinking thing that you talked about, and I feel it all the time. Then he would find himself a little speck of light outside of his body, and he knew that he had to follow the light in order to stay safe. And that the first level of the realms that he visited or he moved through, he would move over to this staircase, and it was this like Jacob's ladder, and he would start up the staircase and he would pass these little hooded gnomes and elves and things, and they had very dark robes at the lower levels, and then they'd be light colored at the higher levels, and there'd be like 8 levels, I think, and he'd go into the Akashic records and get a reading and return. But he said that that first level was a place of nightmares. The things that were alive in that area were nightmarish. People were there, but they were greatly deformed. They'd have huge hands or giant feet, or just these body parts that were really bizarre looking. And he said as he would follow the light to this stairwell, and then he would ascend, and he'd pull out of those places. And I think this guy Michael Tamara, he talks about this thing as we go through these lives and we sort out what we really are, who we really are, and we die well. We die realizing that we live forever and we can't be harmed. And I just got to stay the course and follow the light. We're living in an illusion. This is a really good play, and we all got parts in it. But when we go home, you don't want to come back here. This thing we call death, we've got it completely backwards. It is a beautiful thing. It is a 10 million% upgrade instantly. We have not lost anybody. They've slipped out of the physical and they've gone home. And they're just a little further up the trail than we are right now. But we'll see them again. And everything is fine. Everything is beyond fine for them.